Okay, Co-Chair Lance, go ahead and start your meeting.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to call this meeting to order on May 14th, Wednesday, 2025 at 11:04 a.m. We got roll call. Rose, could you do that roll call for us, please?
And I'll assist you with that. There's Commissioner Cuddy-Eye, Commissioner Curley, and Commissioner Co-Chair Lance.
Here.
And then Commissioner Co-Chair Mariah or Zavala.
Here.
And then Commissioner Francis. Commissioner Hosky. Commissioner Moana.
Here.
And Commissioner Marks. And Commissioner Marshall.
Present.
Okay, thank you. Back to you.
Okay. All right. Could Commissioner Moana please read the land acknowledgement for us?
Yes. The Flagstaff City Council humbly acknowledges the ancestral homelands of this area's indigenous nations and original stewards. These lands, still inhabited by native descendants, borders mountains sacred to indigenous peoples. We honor them, their legacies, and their continued contributions. Their traditions and their continued contributions. We celebrate their past, present, and future generations who will forever know this place as home.
Thank you for reading that for us. Next is going to be public comment. At this time, any member of the public may address the commission on any subject within their jurisdiction that is not scheduled before the commission on that day. Due to open meeting laws, the commission cannot discuss or act on items presented during this portion of the agenda to address the commission on an item that is on the agenda. So if there's anybody from the public who has any information to share, please do so.
There's no one, Co-Chair.
Okay. We will move on to item number 4, which is the approval of minutes for the Indigenous Commission retreat agenda scheduled for June 13th. I am going to need a first and second motion to approve this. If you are going to approve, please let us know who you are.
Co-Chair.
Motion to approve, Commissioner Zavala.
Hold on. It says the minutes will be on the Indigenous Commission's retreat agenda.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just jumped to that. Okay, so we're not going to have to worry about this right now. Sounds like.
Right.
Okay. Got it. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so next then would be the general business, possible voting on this. Item A is establish work group for Indigenous Code Talkers celebration. Commissioners will decide members to serve on the work group to plan the Indigenous Code Talkers event. So Rose, do you have information on that?
Well, this is a discussion between all of you first, and then you will decide or volunteer who's going to be on the work group to do the planning for this. For the first one, it's for the Code Talkers celebration.
I don't remember this being on the agenda last year. Was this Code Talker celebration on there last year? For the
we do plan for the Indigenous Code Talkers celebration. It just hasn't been agendized because usually people would just volunteer, but then we ended up having not too many people helping. And so this year we're wanting to have our commissioners be more involved and to, help with some of the planning. And then also there was a request that we start early so that we know who's on the work committee, work group, and then we can have enough sufficient time to plan the event.
Okay. What day are we looking at for this Code Talkers event?
So normally, we do it in August.
Mhm.
Hold on a second.
I think it's
Um,
usually August 14th is what I'm saying.
We normally don't hold it on that day, except for
Okay.
that very first one.
Okay.
So it should be, usually we do it around the 14th, and we normally do it on a Monday.
Mhm.
But really, it's up to you. The only thing that is, at least for my, for my recommendation is that we stay away from the 14th, because there's usually a lot of
Mhm.
Navajo specific Hotalker celebrations going on. And as a city commission, we really want to be more inclusive of all Indigenous
Mhm.
Hotalkers.
Okay. So would we be looking at maybe the 11th of August? It's that Monday before the 14th, possibly?
That'd be fun. Kick off the week.
Okay. I'd be willing to volunteer for this.
Okay. So is everybody that's here in agreement for August 11th?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And it would be, how did we do it? Was it an all day event last year? Or like a half day?
Hold on a second. Let me show you what we had. All right, let me see if I can share with you. All right, can you see that?
Mhm.
All right, so this was last year's, and it was Monday, 9 to 1 p.m. That was really because we were it was, maybe we had like a month and a half to plan.
Mhm.
And that was, so that was why we made it a little bit short.
Okay.
So this was usually what it looks like. We can, you guys can plan it totally different.
Mhm.
We had an MC, we had the posting of colors. We had an opening prayer, land acknowledgement, and then the proclamation for the co-talkers. And then then we did our acknowledgements, which is really, highlighting our elected officials as well as other VIPs, and then also you as commissioners, who you were at that meeting. And then we only decided to have one keynote speaker, which was Mr. McDonald. And then we had a closing a veteran song anyway. And then we had some giveaways. We had a light lunch with refreshments, and we had all these people who gave generously of their time and money.
Okay.
So that was, so officially, like I said, August 14th is honoring the co-talkers. Navajo, usually it's Navajo Nation, National Navajo Nation Co-talker Day.
Okay.
Mm.
So that's the way it was. And the week, let's see here, the year before that, we had 9:30 to 1:30 as well.
I'd like to be on the committee with Moana. I forgot how much more active it was the year before, and with how much time we have to plan, I think we
Yeah.
can make this really, really awesome. Not that it wasn't last year, but even more awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, this looks good. Could you send these to us, Rose, just so I can have a reference point for what we're looking at?
Okay, so we can plan it like this, or we can also, I think the first year we had a group of owner riders, motorcycle riders that went and placed wreaths on the code talkers that were buried over at the Belmont. Is it the Belmont Cemetery?
Okay.
So there was a little bit more at that time.
Rose, how many code talkers are buried over there?
Tell you, I'm not sure.
Was that the official military cemetery for our code talkers?
It's the official, I think it's a veteran cemetery. So, so some of the code talkers families elected to have their members rest there.
Hey Rose, just as a side note, Diana is waiting in the lobby.
Oh, sorry.
I just didn't want to admit her without.
It's okay. You can admit her if I'm busy and overlooking things.
Good to know for future. Yeah, I think we can plan it how we would like to best see it work this year, but I think it'd just be good to see this as like a reference for what we've done in the past. How long has this event been going on for the city?
I believe this would be the 4th year.
Okay.
4th year, maybe 5th.
Okay.
But I think it's 4.
Okay.
The other thing that I thought maybe, we can just talk about that in sorry for scrolling too much. So if we can have maybe one more person, as long as we're not doing quorum, that would be really helpful. If anybody else wants to volunteer to be on the board, on the work group for the Indigenous Code Talkers event. The other thing, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This is Cheryl Lee. If no one else wants to, I can be available. But I do have a question on that other art commission. I've not heard yet back from that, so I don't know when that begins.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Something to do with the thing that Diana did last year. The art.
Is it part of the beautification committee?
The beautification
committee.
They would reach out to the commission and because they would have because you volunteered, right? So they have your information, and when they're ready, they'll reach out to you when the meetings are going to start.
Okay. What I'm saying though is I wasn't sure if that's conflicting in the same month of August. I don't know. That's what
I don't know. I don't really know what their schedule is going to be like.
What was the question again, Rose? Needing people to help with the event the day of?
I believe Cheryl is asking about the event that the beautification arts and sciences put on, and where they were asking for a member from the Indigenous Commission to volunteer their time to go through the application and then select which would be the final choices for the next installation.
Okay.
So, Commissioner Francis, if you were wanting to be on this work group, are you asking what the conflict might be, or you won't have enough time?
No, what I'm saying is just FYI, that hasn't come up yet. I don't know if it takes a lot of time, but if no one else wants to volunteer for the Navajo Code Talker Day, of course I will volunteer.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're not calling it Navajo Code Talker Day. We're calling it All Indigenous Code Talkers Day event.
Oh, excuse me. All Indigenous Code Talkers Day.
But we'll have some signs that have, some like the logo that we normally use. But on site. We just want to be more inclusive as a city group.
And Moana
So-
and I are on that committee now to work it, right, Rose?
Mhm.
Okay.
So the three of you.
Again, if somebody else wants to, I'm just,
Okay, so right
Fine.
now, Commissioner Kariai and also Commissioner Marks are on. So right now we're talking about who would like to be on the work group for the for the Indigenous Code Talkers event that is planned in August. Do either of you would like to be on that work group? There's also another conversation coming up for Indigenous Peoples Day event. So we just need 3 commissioners to be on it, so we're staying away from quorum. And the other thing that we can do is also include community members to join so that they can plan with the commissioners.
Yeah. And I guess as a heads up to our commissioners, I was gonna volunteer to be part of the working group for Indigenous Peoples Day too, so.
Okay, that's totally fine if you guys are all fine with that. So is there any other volunteers to be on this work group?
I'm happy to be a worker bee wherever you direct me.
Okay, I'm going to include you, Lori. I know you can't maybe make all the meetings because of your schedule. We'll just keep you in the loop on all the work groups.
Okay, thanks.
Any other commissioner wanting to volunteer for this one? If not,
Rose, this
Yeah.
is Diana.
Mhm.
I'm looking at the date, August 14th. That's that's not a Monday.
Yeah, this is, we decided, or before you got online, the commissioners decided for August 11th.
Mhm,
That's a Monday, yeah.
mhm.
But on the brochure it says, oh, this is like 2 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just
2023.
showing examples of what we had before.
Okay, got it. All right. Let me check my
Your busy
social
schedule.
calendar. let me I will what's that? Oh, I will I'll volunteer for that, the Code Talkers Day event. Or
Okay. Commissioner Francis, are you open to going, being a volunteer for the other one if Diana wants to be on this one? Or do you want to be on this one? Mr. Francis?
I'm here.
you-
Yeah, yes.
You want to be on this one?
No, well, since Diana's already in, that's fine. I'll just do
Okay.
the other.
Okay. All right, so we have our work group, and can you also do a motion and a second and a vote, just so we have it formal that we have this work group working on it?
Okay, so we're gonna need to have a vote for this established work group now for the Indigenous Code Talkers celebration. We need a first and a second. Please let us know who you are if you're gonna motion. Can I get a first?
Motion to approve, Commissioner Zavala.
Thank you. Can we get a
Second.
second?
I can second that. This is Commissioner Marks.
Great,
Oh.
thank you. And then now for the vote, all in favor accepting, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay.
Okay, so now we'll go on to about establishing the work groups for the Indigenous Peoples Day. This is item 5B. Commissioners will decide members to serve on the work group to plan the Indigenous Peoples Day event.
So we have one, which is Commissioner Francis.
This is Commissioner Lance. I'd like to be on that one.
Commissioner Zavala, I'd like to be on that one, please.
All right. So that one is done.
And Indigenous Peoples Day is Monday, October 13th when we do that event, right?
Yeah, it's usually the second
Okay.
Monday of October. Okay. All right. Can we do another nomination, a motion and a second on that
Okay.
one?
Okay. All right. We need to do a motion to approve this established work group now for the Indigenous Peoples Day event. I need a first and a second. Please acknowledge who you are. Can I get a first?
Before, can I just confirm who's on the committee? Sorry, it moved quickly in my brain.
That's okay. It is Commissioner Francis, Commissioner Lance, and Commissioner Zavala.
Okay. I'll motion.
And I can second.
Great. Great. Thank you. And now we need to vote. All in favor accepting, say aye, please.
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Great. All right, we'll move on to discussion items. Number 6, 6A is discussion and planning the Indigenous Code Talker celebration. Commissioners will provide input to start planning the celebration. The designed work group will use the recommendations as ideas to formulate next steps. The event usually occurs during the second week in August. A meeting schedule will be developed for planning sessions.
Okay, so on this, it's just really giving general ideas on what you'd like to see happen during the Code Talkers event. And then this can, depending on how feasible it is, it can be changed or not based on the work group's research and whatever needs to happen to get it to all the planning, through all the planning and then to fruition. So this is more of a discussion on what you'd like to see happen and that we maybe didn't see or didn't plan in the past few years.
I'll start. I think we should change locations from the Flagstaff Aquaplex. The Market of Dreams might be up and running by then, which is here in Sunnyside, where a lot of our Indigenous folks are residing and is really accessible from like walking, biking, and the bus stop is right there, or maybe like the Murdoch Center. I don't know what fees they'll be charging for the Market of Dreams, but I know the Murdoch Center, because of the Resilience Hub grant, have to host certain programs weekly, so they may be able to support this event at no cost to host there.
Which one? The Market of Dreams or both?
The Murdoch Center.
And can you just roughly tell me what the capacity is for those two places?
For the Market of Dreams, I think they told me 80. I could be wrong because there's still finalizing the space. And for the Murdoch Center, I believe it's 89. And I can text and probably find out during this call.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
Rose, put your
Yeah,
hand up.
oh, sorry.
So do we not want to consider getting a tent and having it over at the Indigenous Community Center land?
I was going to ask next and see where that space is at.
It's the old Public Works yard by Thorpe Park.
Oh, I mean the status of it, like how it's looking to host
well,
and such.
Just my comment, the building is still far from being occupied, but we've had conversations about there's a huge area of concrete and gravel that we could, I don't know how much a big tent would be, but it might be something to consider to start healing that land in preparation for the future facility, whatever that looks like.
That's an idea, really. Anybody have any comments on that?
Are there bathrooms there that are accessible?
No, right now, but we can
You
always
can
get
rent nice, pretty porta potties
Mm-hmm.
that are out there. We did it for my father and my mother's celebration of life, and you can get them as nice as having a sink inside and lighting, and I don't know what the fee is, but it you can get them to where they're not just porta johns, they're actually portable bathrooms, and they're nice.
Yeah.
And I think we might have enough time if we decide that that's the direction we want to go. We can even probably ask for a donation of that for the one day.
Yeah, we might be able to find a sponsor for just like the porta potties if we get something nicer than that. And then tents. Yeah.
Rose, how does that look for the funds? Like, is the city of Flagstaff, like, is there a little pool of monies for stuff like this? Like if it was a tent, now we got to get chairs, tables, stuff like that, hit up like a rental place, you know what I mean? For those kind of things, there's the porta potties, those kind of stuff. What's the budget? Or, is it something we gotta approach people to be like volunteering all this kind of stuff? How has it worked in the past?
Well, in the past, the city has been able to cover it. The Aquaplex has been free to us because it's a city facility and and this is a city function. So, but with anything like, let's say the Elks Club, where we had that Indigenous Peoples Day, we had to pay for that. Even though we did have a discount, we still had to pay for it. But some of these things, we'll look into a tent and see what that could cost, just so we have an idea what the cost situation is. Any other facility we'd have to pay for if it's not a city facility.
Yeah.
As far as chairs and things are concerned, we have probably sustainability or even facilities who can provide chairs and tables if we need it.
Yeah, and for any frame of reference, Darren, last year I coordinated the food that was there with a local vendor here in town and had them give us like a discount to stay within a budget because I found a separate sponsor. And to feed 50 people, I was able to get Desert Financial to spend $1,000 on just food.
That's pretty awesome.
I heard the food was good too. I hope we can
It
do
was
food.
really great. And
and I could probably work with him again too, and hopefully find that same sponsor. But especially if we're going to do it in that space, which is really open, I think with the planning, we we're doing now, we could probably anticipate like 80 people showing up versus the 50. So yeah, I think cost is a good thing to factor and discuss too while we're here.
I think we've been reaching up towards 100 per event. Besides, so those are information on locations. As far as other ideas, what do you all think? The subcommittee can run with it.
I had an idea for a musical performance. If we can get it, I would ask if we're okay with it. Clark Tanakungva, I don't know if anyone is familiar with him. He's an Army veteran and he is a Hopi musician. And he has professionally recorded a song originally created by one of our elders that is about Hopi sailors in Hopi. And so that could be something that we do as, I don't know, as like a memorial or as like a moment of something, having him perform that song, because that's kind of, it's a special thing, a song written in Hopi about Hopi sailors serving in the military.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. I think we should open it up to have organizations table there again like we've done before, so they can share resources.
Yeah.
And did we have people pay for costs this past year? Like 40 or 50 bucks like we've done before?
Not for code talkers.
Not for code talkers, that was Indigenous Peoples Day. Cool. Yeah, because it was such a small space at the Aquaplex. I think in order to really solidify logistics, we need to figure out if we're going to do it outside or inside. And if we do it in that space at the Indigenous Community Center, I'd be curious, like if weather was bad or if it got really, really windy like it does in the summer, we're not really going to have access to a building to go inside and take all our materials in, like in other spaces.
I would recommend, just for security and for stability of location, that we do it inside somewhere. August can also be really warm. So,
and a lot of elders do attend.
Yeah. Just for accessibility and things like that too, I think. Yeah.
Let me see.
Any other recommendations or ideas?
Things like the posting of colors, is that usually done by the Marine Corps League, or is there like VFW? Like, is there other organizations? I'm not too familiar with that. I mean, I know they got like JROTC, like Coco, but they're out now. You know, they won't be.
Yeah, I think in the past, we've considered the high schools who do have ROTC or anything like that. It was just kind of an awkward time. They're just beginning school. Some of them weren't back in school. Some of them were, so it was just really hard to see what was going on with the high school. So that's why we ended up, somebody had recommended this one, whereas, the Color Guard, they're local and they always help out wherever they're needed, and they don't charge anything. We normally just give them some gifts of appreciation. And so usually they've always wanted to help. And that's the reason why we did that. But, you know, all of that is really up to you guys. If you want to recommend, you know, other people, other groups, I think that would be great. So I'm hearing that maybe look into other groups who can post colors. Is that what
Yes.
I'm hearing?
We could also think about the NAU or OTC program, possibly.
Yeah, we could probably start reaching out to people now to know where they're at, because
Yeah.
I totally missed that the whole back to school season is at that time, right in August, and or kids are out of school.
Especially the JROTC, like, you know, they're going to have people that are still, you know, all the, you know, the graduating seniors would be gone, but there's always, because my son was a part of the color guard and he did that for 4 years, but you know, there's always people coming up and people who've been involved and could potentially be able to help out, you know, be like a little event for them. We'd probably have to reach out now, you know, while they're still
Yeah.
in school.
Yeah.
In the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
I think I have construction going on like downstairs right under my office. So there's like all kinds of banging and saws and things going on. So I think, what was I going to say now? Oh, I can't think of it right now. Anyway, I think those are really great ideas. I think that, oh, I know what it was. Just getting the youth involved in some of these activities, I think is really important. Just because that sooner or later they might start working for the city or being on Indigenous commissions, they'll be able to know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I can have my son reach out to Coconino here before they're out of school here in the next week or so. I'm sure he's got some connections still over there. And then as far as like the opening prayer and all these other line items you have here, like land acknowledgement, welcome message, all those kind of stuff, those are, you know, items we can just look at. Like if we got suggestions and all that kind of stuff, do we just email it to the group or email it to you? You know, if there's suggestions or somebody finds somebody for the opening prayer or veteran song closing prayer, stuff like that, just kind of, if we happen to come upon or know people that do that, you know. Is that how we would go about trying to get that information? We go through you, Rose?
Yeah, just go ahead and send everything to me and I can deliver it to the subcommittee or the work group. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I forgot we did breakfast items too. Yeah, I'll talk to the people who had sponsored these past couple years for those. I'm guessing we're all still in favor of having like breakfast and lunch there, having food for all our peeps. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Food's always a good piece for people to gather around. So.
Yeah. So food was actually probably closer to $2,000 than Commissioner Lance. I forgot we had gotten a sponsor for breakfast too, and we had Mine Wins donated or something, but that's about the cost we had to provide food.
Mm-hmm. And then the city usually buys some things too, you know.
Well, that gives me a roundabout number for my kids' graduation next week. I got about 80 people coming, so I knew it was going to be somewhere around there. So $2,000 sounds about right.
Oh, congratulations, Commissioner Lance. That's awesome.
All right.
This Rose, this what we're looking at right here that you shared, who put this together right here? This is quite a bit of stuff. This is quite a bit of you know, line items here of the whole, you know, from start to finish. That's quite a bit. That's pretty good. That's a good premise.
Yeah, well, I had help with some of the commissioners here, and then also some community members that provided ideas. Like the family of the Annabelle Small Canyon, her and her son were really involved in some of this because they brought in their father's information as because he was a code talker. And so they contacted several of the people that were part of the event. So yeah.
Have you ever had anybody like family members of code talkers maybe come in and share any information, like, you know, during the war, what they experienced? I don't know if that's okay, but you know, we all, you know, the indigenous, you know, I'm sure they shared stories. You know what I mean? Be interesting.
Right. And
some
that's
of-
what Annabelle Small Canyon did. She not only just sang the national anthem and Marine Corps hymn, she also had some time to talk about her father and what some of the stories that he shared with the family.
Oh, okay. Great.
Well, since we're all here, should we just figure out the location? And if there's a cost associated with it, we could probably find a sponsor for it.
Yeah, I think we need to make sure we have information on all the 3 locations that were presented, just so we know what the cost might be.
Cool. And we said Murdoch Center, the Market of Dreams, and what's the third one, Rose?
The ICCC site.
Okay. Let's see, what's today? Today is the 14th. I'll get information on the Market of Dreams and the Murdoch Center. Who is the point of contact for the ICC suite?
I can get the information on that.
Perfect. I'll make sure I get it all to the group by next Friday, the latest. I could probably get it by this Friday, I think.
I think what you need to do is also set a schedule, like how many times you're going to be meeting. That's going to be part of this, since your group is here already with
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, I think monthly would be ideal. Or actually, maybe bi-monthly, do like 30-minute check-ins. I don't want to do anything too overwhelming. I know it's summer and all of that, but if it's in August, we have like 2, 3 full months to get everything done. And so I think monthly would be cutting it a little close. So maybe
yeah, I don't think monthly will work. Maybe every. Go ahead. So this will be Commissioner Moana, Commissioner Mariah, and Commissioner Diana to decide a schedule of when you're going to be meeting.
Okay. We can schedule our first meeting right now to check in, and then the 3 of us could probably come up with a cadence for June and July up to August. So since Commissioner Moana's on and Diana is here, we can set up a meeting for next week or the week following. I'm pretty open, but I know there's a lot of graduations and stuff going on. So y'all let me know what dates work best, either beginning of the week, later in the week, afternoon.
I think the following week would work for me, the week of the 26th.
Perfect.
And would we be meeting over Zoom or in person?
I'm down for Zoom. Zoom works good. I can send out the invite. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Tuesday through Thursday would work for me.
Can you say the dates again?
The week of the 26th. So we're looking at Tuesday, the 27th right now.
Okay. And that's Memorial. Well, let's see. That's the day after Memorial Day.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
open that whole day on Tuesday.
Like 9 a.m.
This is Diana. I'm going to still be out of town then.
Okay.
So I won't be here till the 29th, which is a Thursday. That would work best for me.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. How about 10 a.m. on Thursday, the 29th for our first meeting, and then the three of us can figure out what bi-monthly will look like after that?
I have a meeting at 10 that day. I have
No worries.
9 a.m., 11, 12, and then in the afternoon, beginning at 3.
What about 11 o'clock?
11 sounds good. I'll make a meeting now. Can you guys put your emails in the chat, please? And I'll send it out.
At 11.
And then I'll draft up an agenda for beforehand. Do y'all want to make that a 30-minute meeting, 45, an hour?
I think we could make it an hour.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Just so you know, the emails can not be shared with other commissioners. It has to only be the three of you and myself.
Okay.
And also Councilmember Matthews.
This is Diana. I will text it to you, Mariah.
No worries. I just found it. It starts with DC, right?
Right.
Perfect. I got you. Thank you. Oh, I'm so excited. This is going to be so fun. Look at us. We're so ahead.
Oh, Mariah, you're so silly. Okay, silly in a good way.
Perfect.
So your first meeting is going to be May 29th at 11 a.m. for
Mhm.
1 hour.
Yes.
Okay. I'm on vacation that day, but I'll jump in. I'll set up, let's see. I should probably be the one setting up the meeting for you. Or did you say Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll invite
Yeah.
you even though you're
Yeah.
out.
That's okay. You can go ahead and send it. I mean, you can go ahead and do that. And then what do you want to do about community members? Do you want to, I guess we can, you guys can decide that on the first meeting.
Yeah, I mean, if any of the three of us have ideas for community members, we can bring them ready. And then, because I have some ideas, but I don't even know if any of them are going to be available for the event itself. So I could probably confirm what people will be available to even attend that day and would like to help. And then the three of us can talk about it at the meeting.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think it gives the three of us enough time to reach out to our friends and stuff and see who's available and who's not. And so the email, like whatever thread we start as we start these conversations, Rose, will just be me, Diana, Moana, you, and Lori.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Okay. That's it for this topic, co-chair.
Okay. All right. So I guess we'll move on to discussion item 6B, which is the planning of the Indigenous Peoples Day event. Commissioners will provide input for the IPD event. The designated work group will use the recommendations as ideas. As ideas to formulate next steps. Indigenous Peoples Day is on Monday, October 13th. The meeting schedule will be developed for planning sessions. I really like how you put all that together, Mariah, like all the meeting and stuff. You should probably head that, for when we meet like that, because we got to do the same thing,
Thanks.
Yeah, you were just all over that. I like that. Yeah. You're on.
Oh, I'm excited. These events are they're the best part of what we get to do, and it's so neat. And now I have experience because this will be my second one with the commission, or my third one.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so this one, there goes the, oh, loud. Can you hear it in there? Ah, so loud. Okay, so this one is, I'm showing the agendas from last year. And then also I can send you, I can show you the one for the 23rd, the 2023. So we normally try to have a theme.
Mhm.
And I think the past 2 years have been the same, except for the bottom part. Voices for the land and community, and then the other one was matriarchal voices and leadership. So
Okay. Let me get some ideas.
I'm gonna mute myself for right now while you guys discuss.
Uh,
And I'll scroll.
Rose, this is
Yeah.
Commissioner Francis real quickly. So this year it's going to be on October 13th on the Monday. Is that correct?
That would be up to you guys. Well, no. That's not true. So the city has a holiday on Indigenous Peoples Day. So we'll be off, but I will be working on that on that day if we decide to do it on October 13th. Yes. Now Commissioner Cuddy had said let's have all the event on that day because we fought so hard to have that recognized within the city. So that's why we had it that day. So then right now it's in your court again.
And that's as far as location and everything, because the Elks Lodge court, that was pretty good. It was a good space last year.
Yeah, that would be up to you where the location would be, and then also the date. So if you all agree to be on October 13th, let's decide that first.
I vote for Monday, October 13th.
I'm in
Same
favor
here.
of that. In favor of the 13th.
The rest of you?
Oh, were we supposed to do a motion to approve?
No, I'm not on this one, just for the,
Oh, okay, sorry.
this part is discussion.
Oh, I see.
Commissioner Marks, Commissioner Cuddy, Commissioner Moana, and also Commissioner Marshall. Is October 13th the day you want to have the Indigenous Peoples Day celebration?
Yep,
Yes,
that works for me.
This is Diana Correa. Yes.
Okay,
That should work for me as well.
awesome.
This is Marianne. That sounds good.
All right, cool. So October 13th is it.
Ooh.
All right, and now for any discussions on what you'd like to see. So last year, what we had was opening session. I didn't have all the pictures last year, so, and that was part of the last minute thing. This was pretty successful. Business owners. And then up there with the uranium mining, that was very educational.
Yeah.
And then the cultural shares. So that's what we did last year. And then the year before, we had the following.
I think if we could keep the business owners on there just to showcase other native business owners in the area would be good.
Well, and since things are not, I guess stable is really the best way to put it in climate, from our physical climate, political climate, all the things. But if we did like a reclaiming our future theme, and then we could center that around youth empowerment, climate justice, language revitalization, or self-determined futures. Businesses are part of that because that's part of reclaiming the future. I think that singular theme of reclaiming our future gives us a lot of flexibility to really invite anybody who wants to come and present, or have a mix of presentations that can make it feel fresh.
I just from my perspective, I think reclaiming is something kind of inferring that we lost something. And I think that we need to just make it more something that's more solidifying, or something that's making things stronger in face of what in the face of what's facing us right now with the political climate and all the other things.
Still here, still rising, celebration of what we are doing, like you mentioned, Rose, and groups that are successful, maybe celebrating our successes.
I like that.
Any other thoughts? Or do you want to sleep on it? So what I've heard is keep the business panel.
Yes.
And that's a recommendation.
I think a dance or something like that, like we did in this last year to close it out, is really, really powerful, especially when they opened it out to the attendees to join. I thought that was really special.
And also it keeps people there, knowing that there's going to be some, something going on that's more of a sharing the culture of dance and song. But I think it's really good to really, find out who that would be, what group that might be, and to have it really be part of the program so that people can be excited over it too. Commissioner Marks? Commissioner Marks?
Hello, my name is Nelise Lomakima. I am from Hopi, and I will
What is your title?
I will be the incoming 2025-2026 Indigenous ambassador, and I would like to do the land acknowledgement.
Sounds great.
Great
Cool.
idea.
For
Great idea.
Indigenous Peoples Day, right? Okay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah. Felicidades.
That sounds really cool. And then are you going to have some time to be part of the planning group? Do you live here in town? You're muted.
I live on the res, but yes, if I'd be able to help with the planning, then I can.
Okay. I think most of the meetings are going to be Zoom, right?
Yep.
So if you have really good connection out there, then I'm pretty sure you can still join.
Okay.
Okay. And Daryl, can you share with us, her contact and everything? All right. Anything else on recommendations for the group to chew on? For the work group to chew on?
Rose, are you, this is Commissioner Francis, are you going to be sending this example out to us so we can go through it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll send both the co-talkers and the IPD to the groups that are working on it.
Last year for the food, we did kind of like a potluck, right? Some people brought some dishes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
And commissioners, is everybody okay with still having it be inside? It's been at the Elks Lodge the past 2 years. If anybody has any strong feelings on another location or anything, please share so we can discuss.
I like Elks Lodge.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it
fine.
seems to work and people show up.
It was a pretty good turnout last year, I thought. But it was
Mhm.
probably like
Yeah.
70, 80 people, something like that. Maybe more.
Yeah. I mean, if we start advertising it ahead of time, and people will get it on their schedules. And then like a week before, then we post it to our city social media. So normally with the city, you have to almost come up to the end before you can put it. But if we get the flyer ready, then we can start emailing people and having people have you guys put it on your social media.
Hey, Rose, this is Commissioner Francis. It's probably best also to try to put a save the date out just before the flyer comes out, maybe. I don't mind doing that myself.
That would be
I-
awesome if you
Love that.
design the save the date thing.
Right. And then I think for the All Indigenous Co-Talkers Day to do the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I could whip something up for Co-Talkers Day, Rose.
Okay. Well,
Unless you
Shirley
can knock both out.
yeah, that's what
Commissioner
she said.
Francis.
Yeah, Shirley, can you do both?
Yeah, I'm assuming that that's okay. Since I'm not a part of the committee, it's still legal.
Yeah. And you can just communicate with me on that.
Right.
And
I would just need the date.
Thank you, Shirley. That would be
Thank
great.
you, Commissioner Francis.
Co-Talkers Day is August 11th. And then Indigenous Peoples Day is October 13th.
Is there a time?
No, we just
and I'm not putting that on the flyer or on the save the date, but I would just for me, is there a time like the Indigenous Peoples Day, it says 9 to 2:30. I don't know if we're gonna still keep it that way. Are we still in that phase? We're still deciding, or is that set?
we're still deciding.
Okay, for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if you're coming to help out or anything or be there, I would plan to like block off your day from like 8 or 9 to like 2 to 4 p.m. around that day. It's like a full day.
That's what
set
I'm
up.
putting. It's exactly what I'm doing. I'm like, I have to put it in the calendar here.
Got you. Yeah, I block off just 8 to 5. I'm taking the whole day for that.
Yeah, because we do a lot of running around before on both days.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yay. So exciting.
Anything else? We have.
Maybe Mariah, we can get our set up a meeting.
Perfect. We can set something up here in the next few weeks if we want to maintain momentum, and then like set up something throughout the summer. But I do think Indigenous Peoples Day is a bit bigger than Indigenous Co-Talkers Day, just because of all the extra I guess the extra like attention that it gets in surrounding communities. So there might be a little bit more work to putting it together then. Indigenous Code Talkers Day, so it might not even be too crazy of us to start planning things out in June up to October, especially if we want to have all the things happening, get all the things we want. So yeah, Commissioner Lance and Commissioner Marks, if y'all want to, do you want to set up a meeting here before the end of May or start something in June?
Am I still included in that?
Yes.
You are. Yeah. Okay. So when go ahead,
I'm
Rosa.
sorry. Let me just say the work group is comprised of Cheryl Lee, Darren, and Mariah for this one.
Okay.
And then,
my bad.
okay. Ashley, did you want to say something? No, are you just listening? Okay.
I'm typing something right now.
All right, go ahead, Mariah.
Yes. I'm so sorry. I thought it was Mark's. So then Commissioner Francis, Commissioner Lance, would y'all like to set something up before the end of May or set something up in June?
June.
I'd like to do June.
Okay. What works best for you guys? First, second week, the end of the month?
End of the month.
Okay, perfect. Are we looking at the week of the 23rd?
Correct.
Sure.
Perfect. What days would be best? Monday
the
through
moment-
Thursday?
It's open, wide open.
Probably Wednesdays would be a good day for me. My Tuesdays and Fridays are pretty busy.
Love it.
Thursdays, yeah. So Monday and Wednesday, preferably Wednesday for me.
Okay, Wednesday morning, afternoon?
I do afternoon.
Afternoon. How do we feel about like 2:30 or 3 o'clock?
That'll work.
Okay, we'll go for 3. And I got both your emails, so
Is that going back through Rose, who's going to send out the invite and we do this again?
No, Mariah wants to use Zoom, so we don't have a Zoom account.
Got it.
And then these don't need, because we're staying away from quorum, we don't need to have official minutes that to be posted publicly. So I'm pretty sure we can use Zoom. Unless it was an official meeting, then we'd have to use our Teams.
Do we need to record the meetings either, Rose?
I think I think you can record the meetings just to make sure you have, accurate
Everything.
information.
Okay.
The only thing that we don't want to get into is recording it and somehow making it public to someone else.
I see.
Okay.
Then we get in trouble.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I do record my Zoom meetings. I use Read AI, but it's only my own personal account, and it's to get all the notes from the meeting.
Mhm.
If that still works.
Yeah, just don't share it with other people. Just use it as notes.
Internal. Okay.
Mhm. So June 25th is what you're doing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 25th at 3 p.m.
Yep, sending out.
And this is just the first meeting. It's not like the schedule, right?
No, just for us to start getting through the details. It would be cool to confirm we're just going to commit to Elks Lodge since everybody's on the call, because that knocks out a big logistical piece.
Okay. Is everybody okay with the Elks Lodge?
Are they charged? How much are they charging us, or is there a discounted rate?
Last year we got a discount, but I believe they're going to probably raise it this year. So I'm thinking they're going to charge us maybe more like 800, 900.
Yeah,
Last year was only 700.
So I know Bob at the Elks Lodge. I can reconnect with him.
Mm-hmm. if you can get it down, that would be good.
Yeah. And a way we offset those costs last year, Shirley, is when we had people who wanted to vend it, I think we had them pay like a $40 fee.
That was a year before.
Oh, year before. Thanks.
Yeah, last year we paid, the city paid the whole amount that he was asking for.
Sweet.
Are we doing well, we'll discuss that, I guess, but we can do vending.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be good. So Mariah, include me in on the meetings too.
Just sent it.
Okay.
I use the email that's in our threads, Shirley. Let me know if that one works because I just sent it to that.
So like these meetings we're having for the Indigenous Peoples Day and the Indigenous Code Talkers, if any of us wanted to maybe make a suggestion, even though we're not, a part of the 3 that are with Code Talkers or Peoples Day, like, is that information going to be shared amongst us, like on something, you know what I mean? Like, let's say, our first meeting, we kind of talk about these certain items and we want it to be like a certain way. Are we going to share that with the rest of the committee or commission? I mean, like during these monthly meetings? Would
yes.
That be towards
yes.
the end discussion items? That's where we would share those.
We can make it an agenda item for updates.
I guess every month then until these events happen. Maybe we can bring everybody to on what we've talked about or what they've talked about. Okay.
Yeah. So that can be done. We can share, we can update the rest of the Indigenous Commission on what's being planned. But as far as recommendations are concerned, this is where you can do that right now so that the group can have some things to work on. And if they can't make it happen, then that will be in the update saying that this was a recommendation and we couldn't, do it because the person that we thought maybe could do it is not available or whatever the reason might be. So.
And just to clarify,
can we get to the person who has their hand up first? Go ahead, Commissioner Marks.
Introduce yourself.
Hopi?
Yeah.
Oh, net nanedima Hopi Matsuma, net Dylan Angeles Matsapahana Matsuma, net Dawanga, net Arrivi Apkita. Hello, I am Dylan Nessing Waitoho, which is my English name. I am Sun Clan and I'm from the village of Arrivi. And I am going to be co-ambassador for 2025-26. Yeah. And then I kind of want to talk about the Hopi Code Talkers and the Pueblo Revolt, because I know those are 2 really big things that don't really get talked about, but out at home those already get talked about. Like Pueblo Revolt is a holiday for us and we get that day off, and then over here you don't really see that or know about that.
Are you offering to do a presentation? Or can you help find people?
I can probably help find people because I'm from the village where like a lot of that happened. Okay. And so I can probably get someone here like my goddad or my dad.
No.
And then
interested in being on the panel?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's interested in being in the planning committee, and I think the other 2 said the same thing, Mariah. So thank you.
Okay, and this is just for Indigenous Peoples Day or for both events? Which event? Sorry, just clarify. Both? Okay, so Commissioner Marks, you want me to send all 3 of the young folks invitations to the Indigenous Code Talkers meeting and the Indigenous Peoples Day meeting? Okay, perfect. I'm sending those now.
We'll work on getting folks from COCO to participate as well.
Okay, and then I'll make agendas for all these meetings too. That'll be sent out the week before.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
I guess we should maybe move on to number 7. The informational items from commission members, staff, future agenda item requests. So if anybody has anything to share? Please do.
So I sent out the invitation to the Indigenous Commission as well as Indigenous Peoples Advisory Council for Coconino County regarding the Native American convocation on Thursday. So just wanted to remind you of that. And then unless Daryl wants to say something else, Commissioner Marks. Okay. Anybody else?
I'm still fundraising for my rafting expedition with the kids. If anybody knows any small businesses that want to sponsor a camper or just want to, if you see my post on social, a share is appreciated, no cost to do so. We're about 70% away for our funding for them, which is pretty exciting. And that's all I got on my end. And if anybody's going, let me know tomorrow night. Be good to see you guys.
Last month, I just wanted to share that I did not make it to the meeting because I had a toothache. You know, I was eating dinner and my tooth cracked or my filling. But over at Sacred Peaks, they offer emergency dental services Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So you call them at 7:30 in the morning, they'll get you in same day. So it's kind of a big deal for us, you know, if you don't have dental. But yeah, it was cool. Like I've used it a couple times, so just kind of sharing that amongst us. Not sure if everybody knows that.
Sweet. Thank you, Commissioner Lance. That's awesome. And Grand Canyon Trust is hosting 2 trips this summer that are free of cost to young Indigenous youth. There's a river trip called Rise for 16 to 20-year-olds, where it's a free trip to go rafting through the Grand Canyon to learn about environmental sustainability and all these things that Grand Canyon Trust is doing. And then their Leadership program is for 18 to 27-year-olds. And it's like a 9-day expedition traveling through northern Arizona, learning about just sustainability, economics, all these things in Indigenous communities. If you know anybody who would like to apply, I'll send Rose the flyers and the deadlines. It's a really great program. I went through the Leadership one last summer, right when I aged out, and it's really great to just figure out what it is you want to do and how you can work in these spaces. And it's free. They're both free.
That's fun.
Cool.
This is Diana Kariai. I just wanted to share that May 28th, there's a free showing of Fancy Dance, the movie with Lily Gladstone, as part of the awareness for the missing and murdered Indigenous women and people. And it's at the Theatrics in Flagstaff from 6:30 to 8:30. You have to RSVP. So I don't know if they're full by now, but I just want to share that with you. And just look up Theatrics in Flagstaff and the venue, and then just scroll down till you find Fancy Dance. That's on May 28th.
That's theatricals, right?
Theatrics.
Theatricals.
Well, the name of the venue is called Theatrics. It's the one downtown.
Yeah, I think it's theatricals.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so I just want to share that with you guys.
Okay. Thanks, Commissioner Kariai. Appreciate it. Next week. Well, actually, I think it's next week. I'm going to be sending you an invite to see if you're able to come to Dr. Bijot's training for Criminal Justice Coordinating Council. He's providing some of that for our members. However, Judge Reed had said that it's open to anyone. So I wanted to just invite you. And Daryl, can you just elaborate just a little bit more on what Dr. Bajot is doing with regarding just his training, what that's all about?
Sure. Chris Bajou comes out of Georgetown Law, and he's been able to help bridge a lot of the conversations, even tough conversations around the need to express more openly about some of the racism and things that happen to folks. He shared a lot of examples that have happened across the country, even some of the conversations that he's had with different spaces. He's one of the leading resources. I think I'm trying to remember his title. Sorry, this is lunch and there's a lot of people around me.
It's okay.
But he shares a lot of really important, powerful information, and a lot of what his work builds upon is a lot of the civic and social movements out of the 60s and 70s to today. So I would strongly encourage anybody from the commission to come and participate. I think that for me, it's one of those spaces where I feel the safest with his words and feel heard the most, without ever having to say anything, right? I think I've said in some meetings that it feels like I'm actually able to come up for air because of the things that he says and the way that he creates these safe spaces around these conversations. So I hope that others can participate.
Mm-hmm. And that will be held next week at 3:00. And it's going to be at the jury assembly room at the courthouse. So I'll send you information on that. And then also, we're also going to have another meeting regarding the Indigenous Advisory Board for the police chief. And that's going to be next week on the 21st as well at 5:30, if you want to come attend or bring somebody. And then who else had their hand raised? Have 3 minutes. Okay, back to you, Chair, Co-Chair.
Okay. Well, thank you all for sharing the information. Everything, yeah, there's a lot going on here this summer. I think that would be it. We can adjourn the meeting by 14:25 at 12:27 p.m.
Yay. Good seeing everybody.
All right.
Yes. Good to see everybody.
We'll see you
Go-
all later.
Go ahead and adjourn the meeting, Co-Chair, and the time.
I thought I just did, but maybe I didn't speak up loud enough. We'll adjourn the meeting at 12:27 p.m., May 14th, 2025.
Okay, yeah, I didn't hear it. Thank you.
Sorry.
Good job,
Bye.
Commissioner Lance. Great, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody.